Hello everyone, I just wanted to briefly follow up on what I talked about yesterday. Today is Friday, of course the 13th of April. About the idea of truth, that the truth will set us free. It's a very, very powerful concept indeed. The problem is that people struggle about that. We struggle against one another about my truth versus your truth. We do this on a national level. And of course, within our society we can see how we struggle, and all the different religious organizations and political organizations struggle with one another over who's right and who's wrong. My God versus your God. My government versus your government. And of course we also see that on a very, very personal level, where people struggle against one another. And we're all trying to prove each other that we're wrong or that we're right. And we're caught up in that need to justify ourselves. And I've come to think it is very wonderful and very powerful if we learn to let go of that need. Our need to attach ourselves to the need to be right. And just allow, when somebody's trying to tear us down, somebody's negative, and be it an intruder on a bigger scale, international level, or on a personal level, where somebody comes into our life, and probably all of you, whoever's listening to that, or anybody in this world, has experience with that. Somebody is saying negative things about that. Instead of having the need to justify ourselves and to get the other person to change their behavior, it would be so powerful if we learn to just let go and just allow for somebody who might have some negative feelings towards us to just let them think and feel and speak the way they do, without the need to interfere with that. And I think this is when we talk about the truth will be able to withstand all kinds of attacks. I've come to find that some people who don't understand our own truths, they might even feel threatened by that. They have the need to attack us, to tear us down, and to twist the truth in a way where maybe they look good, because ultimately they don't understand by that, and they feel uncomfortable by what we stand for. But we shouldn't let this keep us from standing up for what is true to us. And of course the important thing is also not to hold on to our truths where it is impossible for us to understand another person's point of view. We all have a unique truth, and we all have learned that. Many of us are confused about what that is. Many of us are attached to something that is irrational and negative. But nevertheless, it's not up to us to change anybody. And again, coming back, to the realization number one, or the most basic realization, is that transformation begins from within ourselves. It's not about changing others, it is about changing ourselves. And that's basically all I wanted to share with you today on this Friday. Taking a little break at work before going home, which ultimately is actually right over there, in a little alley over there, this way. So I'm only 2 minutes from home right now, that is. And this park here, I've showed that to you before. It's very, very cool, very unique. A lot of Asian people playing some kind of like board games and card games, and it's just like a whole new culture. It's a whole new world. And I think it's beautiful. Different cultures, diversity in this life. I always felt to embrace that. For some sad reason in this world, those differences stand in the way of us really coming together. And so yesterday when I was at the United Nations Plaza, I was again reminded how unity is the key word of common unity. And I hope we all can learn to move towards that. That this world, we come together in this world, we realize ultimately that we're all one. And if we see the enemy outside of us, if we fight against somebody outside of us who we feel is intruding, we're ultimately fighting against ourselves. The enemy lies within us, and while there's a lot of suffering in the world and a lot of terrible things going on with governments, who do things that we don't agree with here in America especially, but it's not our role to interfere in those things, because there's a great culture and history, behind not only, this country in America, but also when we talk about the Middle East, when we talk about Europe, when we talk about Africa. And I think we all have a right in this world to coexist. And instead of being focused on or acting like the sheriff of the world and interfering in the business of others. Again, this goes for an international level as also for a personal level, where we interfere in the lives of others and telling others how to live, how to be. And so ultimately we all look for others who are just like us and who think like us, and we're looking for friends who are basically just the way we are. And ultimately we all see the world as we are from our own perspective. And I think it's very important, to look beyond that. Open our horizons and open our mind, to see reality beyond self. That's all I wanted to share with you right now. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. And as always, I would love to hear from you. Thank you. Goodbye for now.